Hey, what's up, guys? We're back today with World at War. It's been a little while since we played COD 4. I have been extremely busy in real life. I also went away for a couple of weeks to Greece, Crete specifically. Anyway, let's jump into this bitch. So if you haven't played the campaign, or the game at all, World at War's campaign dives into two of the most intense theatres of World War II, the Pacific and Eastern fronts. The Pacific Front was a brutal clash between Allied forces, mainly the United States and the Japanese Empire. It involved fierce island-hopping battles across the Pacific Ocean, from the beaches of Iwo Jima to the dense jungles of Guadalcanal. Not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but fuck it, we're going with it. This front was defined by fierce naval battles, relentless jungle warfare, and an unbreakable will to advance island by island despite unimaginable losses. It was a fight to push Japan back, one bloody battle at a time. On the other side, the Eastern Front was a massive confrontation between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. This front was like no other. Extreme winter conditions, massive tank battles, and brutal sieges like the one on Stalingrad, where every building was fought over. Millions of soldiers and civilians lost their lives, and the scale of destruction was unimaginable. The Eastern Front eventually turned the tide of the war, leading to Germany's defeat. World at War brings these two fronts to life through the perspectives of US Marine Raider Private Miller and Soviet Red Army Private Dmitry Petronek. So there's a little history lesson for you there. This is what the campaign is about. We're going to start off by playing as Miller on Makin Atoll. So unlike previous Call of Duty games, we're thrown straight into the action. And we start by being held captive by the Japanese, witnessing the brutal treatment of one of our fellow soldiers. So this mission is called Senpai, and this mission is all about survival and revenge. This really introduces us to the harsh, gritty reality of that brutal jungle warfare. Just when all seems lost, our fellow soldiers storm in for a high-stakes rescue. This will now set us up to battle through the bunkers and torch enemy outposts, setting the stage for an absolute amazingly intense journey. I just want to take a moment to just sort of reflect on the game as a whole. So when it came out almost 20 years ago, I only played this campaign once. The one that sort of stands out, and I remember it being absolute motherfucker, is off the top of my head, I think it's called Blowtorch and Corkscrew. I will check that in a bit when I get to editing it. Now, when I played it this one time before, just a little disclaimer, this is a true story. So, there I am playing this game. We were in an Xbox Live party. I think it was a maximum of 8 you could have. A guy called Brian, he was there, and we're playing through this together. You know, not in the same game, but he's playing through it as I'm playing through it. And I'm having a boiler fitted in my mum's house at the time. Now, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was getting pretty fucking wound up with this game. And I opened the door with just this absolute attitude from playing this game. That's how fucking annoyed I was. As I'm playing through it, I must have spent the whole day on this fucking level. Okay, maybe not the whole day, a couple of hours. The whole time this boiler guy is here. Now, been here a couple of hours at this point, and I'm getting more and more fucking annoyed with this game. And I can't remember what Brian said, but it tipped me over the fucking edge, and I blew my fucking lid. It wasn't nasty, he was just joking. But I fucking flipped. I flipped so much that the boiler bloke knocked on my bedroom door to ask if I was okay. That's the only time a game has truly fucking wound me up. Okay, this is the second time. There was one time where I just pulled a PlayStation 2 controller out and went into the garden and swung that shit into the floor. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, this game, this level, this one particular level, which we'll get to in a bit, the grenades were just fucking AIDS. I mean, you're in a jungle, you've got no cover, and it's like grenade, 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 grenade. You can't do anything. That is the reason I put off playing the game for so long. Just to add like a little bit of extra context to how annoyed I was, my neighbor, I think it was the next day, might have even been later that day, he's calling me over the fence just to sort of check in on me. Like, yeah, that level, I don't ever want to play a level again. Just to sort of explain my feelings to the game, I didn't enjoy the multiplayer. It felt rugged. I don't even think I hit Commander. I think I got like level 37. I just went back to COD 4. Simple as that. But that said, as far as campaigns go, this is potentially a top 5 campaign for me, even though it's one I hate. So since I've been rambling on, we've fast forwarded to 1944, and we find ourselves storming the beaches of Peleliu. This chapter is called Little Resistance, and it sees us starting an amphibious assault that mirrors the Battle of Peleliu, one of the war's bloodiest Pacific battles. Faced with artillery, machine gun fire, and hidden bunkers, our objective is to secure a beachhead, a feat that took American forces weeks of absolute relentless fighting, with the Japanese soldiers entrenched in cave systems and bunkers, making every inch forward a struggle. Peleliu was critical as it housed an airfield needed for future US operations. The overall strategic value of the island became highly debated given the extreme casualties. Another outcome of the Battle of Peleliu was the term 2,000 yard stare. It was actually popularized by, I think it was Life magazine in America. I couldn't tell you who took the picture, but basically there's a very famous picture. I'll put them online now. I'll also put the meme up. But basically an exhausted US Marine was the subject for the artist. And I say it went into this magazine and they coined the term 1,000 yard or the 2,000 yards there. Then it just sort of broke down the brutality of this battle. So right now I've worked my way up from the beach. I'm going through this bunker, just clearing it out because we need to take the fort that's overlooking it. I will be honest, I didn't come through this tunnel 2 or 3 times and I kept dying. I was thinking like, what the fuck? So decided to clear it out and go through it that way. So after clearing it out, we're going to come up to a fort just outside here. I don't know if you can see that just yet. It's just up there. Once we get up there, we're going to jump on the MGs and we're just going to mow down some Japanese soldiers, and we're just going to call in some airstrikes on the enemy tanks. After these tanks have been destroyed, it is going to be the end of the level. So we're just going to go down here and regroup with Jack Bauer, bloke from 24, Chief Sutherland. So chapter 3 is hard landing, and this is going to see us pushing further into Peleliu. Here we're just tasked with capturing the island's airfield, just mirroring the real-life relentless advances of the US forces in the real Battle of Peleliu. Hard landing emphasises the psychological toll of fighting through dense, unfamiliar jungle, where the Japanese used guerrilla tactics to wear down attackers. In the actual campaign, the Japanese defenders were instructed to make US troops pay a very high price for every inch, fighting from caves and hidden bunkers. This is a tactic that is replicated in the game, as you fight ambushes and hidden enemies among the trees. So we've worked our way up to this bunker. I need to get this flamethrower. I'm just going to run around here and just flame these motherfuckers. Yeah! This is so much fun when you first get this flamethrower. As you see, I get a little bit excited. I do think that is the end of the level. But the reason it is fun is just because of how annoying this game can be. So to get this little satisfying flamethrower is, you know, it's a little bit rewarding. So we're going to make our way through the bunker, up a hill. We're going to come to this fort, I guess. We are pushing for the airfield, but we're just going to go ahead, clear out this building so we can progress. See, I picked up a noob tube, not having much success with it. We're going to just end up clearing out the building, and as you can see, that's where we need to get to down there. It's going to be fun. I'm just going to run for it now. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so I made it down to here, somehow still alive. Now we need to keep going forward down to there. Once we're there, we're just going to raid this little airbase. I'm just going to clear out the AA crews. I believe there was 4 of them total. The key here is to just take your time, move up slowly. The first impressions with the enemies, there's a couple of levels where it's just an infinite respawn. I don't think this is one of them, but throughout the game it works the same. If you hit a certain point, your allies will push forward and your enemies will stop spawning. Even when it's infinite, or infinite respawns I should say, that principle still works. And that is the only way you can beat a couple of the last levels. So that is the key to this one, because this one is a pain in the ass. I think I died about 8 times on that last AA crew. So as I said, I just took it slow, and we went into that. Once we've captured it, we do just need to hold off. There's a couple of waves of enemies just going to bombard us and try and take it back. We will have friendly airstrikes at the end. I think it was only like 2 or 3 minutes of gameplay, but it felt like forever. A couple of times here I almost died. As you can see, our planes go over. They are going to come back, and we're just going to finish it off. So I actually dropped back just a little bit because I was taking too much damage. And it was just a case of waiting for these planes to just come in. So I'm just going to hide here because I really don't want to play this again. So here comes our planes, and that is going to be the end of hard landing. I believe we can jump over to Vendetta and the Eastern Front. So we switched over to the Eastern Front, being dropped into 1942, Battle of Stalingrad, when Nazi and Soviet forces clashed in one of the war's most infamous battles. So we're now playing as Dmitry Petrenko, not sure how you pronounce it, and we're going to witness the bombed out remains of Stalingrad firsthand. We're just going to follow Viktor Reznov, who is a Russian sniper. This mission draws from the real exploits of the Soviet sniper Vasily Zentsev, I believe is how it's pronounced, but that may be wrong. He became legendary for his lethal marksmanship against German officers. In the game, you navigate ruins and hide in the shadows to set up a sniper duel with the German officers, echoing the real-life cat-and-mouse tactics used by snipers during the intense siege of Stalingrad. This level got a little bit of heat back in the day from the community, because all Guild Up on COD 4 is the greatest mission, I believe, of any Call of Duty campaign. And people felt like this was Treyarch's spin on having that sort of level. It's 2 very different levels in my opinion. So we start the level off by taking out the guards just outside the fountain. Obviously we sync shots to the planes going over. They're then going to go through the buildings. As you saw, we did have that sniper showdown. That was one of the officers. So then we're just going to escape through burning building. That's pretty epic, if I'm honest. So at this point it looks pretty hopeless, and then these dudes turn up and it looks even more hopeless. So I'd actually forgotten about this, but I did actually think we were gonna die, but then it looks like we're saved by some allies. So after they get us up, saved our asses, we're just gonna give them some cover and fire and go through the building up front. I pick up this really cool sniper. Forgotten the name of it. It was like the oh, it is the PTRS. It was like the World at War version of the 50 cal. It's pretty lethal, quite nice. So anyway, we're going to provide cover fire and counter snipe going through the building. Once we've cleared this building out, we're going to be tasked with taking out the remaining officer, I believe it is. So once he's left the building, he's going to run behind the tank. At this point, I'm not entirely sure where he is. There he is. Got him. Boom. Nice little slow-mo effect there. So after killing this guy, it is time to bow, because much like all Guild Up, everybody is going to be on our ass. So we're just going to go through the building. This is the end of the level here. This is just going to come up here and jump out the window. So I will see you in the next chapter. And we're back. This is chapter 5, Their Land, Their Blood. This time we're in 1945 as the Soviet advance continues. The Red Army is pushing into German-held territory. The mission highlights the devastation wrought by years of warfare in Eastern Europe. Soviet troops reclaiming village after village. We fight through trenches and frozen fields, taking on German tanks and defending Soviet ground. Taking inspiration from the Battle of Silo Heights, this brutal campaign saw Soviet forces fighting against heavily fortified German defences, the harsh winter conditions, relentless artillery, close quarter combat, and all of this really reflects the grim reality of reclaiming war-torn lands in the Eastern European front. So the level itself is a little bit refreshing. I don't know if it's because they are retreating, but it felt like the enemy AI was just toned down. It is fairly straightforward. We're literally just going to go up through the bunkers. We're going to clear out, I think, a total of 6 tanks. It is just a case of, as I said earlier, just moving up, letting your forces do the work, and then just popping up and destroying a tank. I don't know if it's supposed to be there, but there is a big old red tank on my minimap. Plus you can hear the fucking thing. So it's just a case of waiting for that to come out. Once that comes out, you just need to destroy it and head through the building. One thing I just want to say about this game is I don't recall there being no friendly fire. But there's definitely no friendly fire on this playthrough, which I really like. If that was originally there, please let me know. 'Cause I could have sworn I had numerous times of you've killed this friendly, blah 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 blah. So after we get through that, we're just going to jump on the back of this tank. It's going to take us down to sort of the remaining forces we just need to clear out. This can be a little bit tricky, but you need to just run around this corner. If you try and clear everyone, you won't get anywhere. You're just going to keep having them respawn. Not entirely sure if this is infinite or it's just we haven't progressed enough to stop it. As you can see here, we've got another tank we're just taking out. I'm just waiting for it to pop up and then I'll take it out. So this guy here keeps shooting me in the back, which is fucking annoying. But we didn't actually get a tank there. So I've just pushed up and I'm just going to take out the tank now. And that is going to complete the level. Sometimes what I found with this game, if you were trying to go left and it just wasn't working, you just need to go right and vice versa. This is pretty cool. Standing on the end of the tank. I didn't even notice that the guy's legs missing to us. And just joining in a moment there. So we're going to jump back to the Pacific. This is Burn 'em Out, and it's going to put us on Okinawa in a mission to clear fortified Japanese positions. The task at hand involves taking out bunkers with flamethrowers and explosives. You know, that's pretty cool, pretty good fun as well. Mimicking the claustrophobic close quarters combat US Marines faced in the Battle of Okinawa, the real-life battle was one of the more intense in the Pacific, with the Japanese forces deeply entrenched in the cave systems, forcing Marines to root out defenders one by one. The intensity of this mission showcases how both sides fought desperately in Okinawa's dense terrain, knowing the island's strategic value as a staging ground for future invasions. The mission itself just sees us going through the trenches, just torching anti-air mortar crews. It is a little bit grinding. There's a lot of rinse and repeat, I won't lie. Sorry, and by that I just mean, like, this was one of the first levels where you're going to notice the grenade spam, or at least on this playthrough I did. So you just need to, if you've got a shit spawn and you're getting grenaded, just die, go again. It's not worth, trying to outrun the grenades. There's just too many of them. 9 out of 10 times you end up getting shot. So once we've cleared out all of the mortar pits, that is going to be the end of Burn 'em Out, and it's going to throw straight into Relentless. Relentless sees us continuing the grueling campaign in Peleliu. It has us pushing through the island to eliminate artillery positions blocking allied forces. The mission exemplifies the island hopping strategy used in the Pacific, where US troops aim to neutralize heavy fortified islands one by one. In real life, this relentless approach to securing islands was met with intense resistance as Japanese soldiers were ordered to fight to the death, with each hill, each jungle path, each bush was rigged for an ambush. The mission captures the draining and unforgiving pace of combat that Marines experienced as they advanced. So this is fairly straightforward. We are just going to push through the jungle, through the caves, clearing out resistance. The little trick I did here is if you tap the left trigger, it snaps onto enemies. And with this LMG, it's just a case of just mowing the fuckers down. So that is pretty much all I did through this level. Occasionally stop to reload, throw through grenades, and it was just back to it. I just want to take a moment to appreciate this LMG. This is so much fun. I don't know if they had it online. Part of me hopes they didn't, because as I said earlier, I didn't play it. I feel like I would have missed out on some really cool, really fun gameplay using one of these online. I haven't actually mentioned it till now. I know briefly said he was in it, but Kiefer Sutherland is in this. I sort of felt like that was trying to elevate the game to the next level. Obviously Captain Price was played by a very famous UK actor on Cod 4. I forgot his name, I think it's Bill something. Apologies if it's wrong, it's irrelevant. I just felt like this was Treyarch's response. It was like, oh shit, Infinity Ward got so and so, we need someone. And for the franchise, it could have done a lot better. I'm not saying it was a bad cast. I think it was really, really good actually, but it may have been too soon for what they were trying to do. I don't think it was appreciated, but that is just my speculation. I quite liked it. It was pretty cool. Up now, Blood and Iron. This is going to be the halfway point through the campaign. Apologies if this video is running extremely long. Never meant for this to turn into a history lesson, but I love the World Wars and all of history. So, Blood and Iron, we're returning to the Eastern Front. We're going to switch gears now, playing in the commander's seat of the Soviet tank during the final push into Germany. This mission draws from the large-scale tank battles that characterized the Soviet advance, particularly in battles like the Siege of Budapest, Battle of Berlin, probably the biggest one. So we're going to just tear through enemy fortifications, German bunkers, defensive lines, just the sheer power of the Soviet armour in full display, showing how tanks paved the way for the Red Army's unstoppable advance. We're going to crush everything in our path, capturing the might of the Soviet forces closing in on Berlin. So yes, this is another tank level. I personally enjoy these levels. I think the franchise do really well with these. There's not too many of them. This one in particular is one of my favourites, if not my favourite. Just thinking, because I haven't got many campaigns left that I've played before. Yeah, so after Ghosts, I don't think I've played a campaign apart from the Modern Warfare remake series. So we'll be in new territory, so there may be some in there that I don't know about. But anyway, this is one of my favourite. Let's say I think it might be my favourite tank level in the Call of Duty franchise right now. We'll see if that changes or not when we come to playing future games. On the note of future games, also we got Modern Warfare 2 2009 next. I personally am looking forward to playing some of these games I haven't even played. I can't wait to get to some of them. The only two games I never ever played, and I mean online or offline, was Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. The other games I touched online. But yeah, for me, after Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2, the franchise took a dip. I stopped playing for a couple of years. I only really got back into it during Black Ops 4, but really got back into it after on the Modern Warfare reboot. So yeah, let's see if that opinion changes. I'm hoping it doesn't, because World War II tank battles were amazing. So after plowing through the field, we're going to just take out a number of tanks, number of towers, heading to the radio tower, I believe it is. Coming up to the last couple of tanks now, and we're just going to go around the corner. That is going to be the level complete. It is a very short level. I'm not sure if it is designed to be short or if I just blitzed through it, no pun intended there. I just recall previous tank battles, especially in Call of Duty 2, being a lot longer than that, but maybe it's just me. So unfortunately I've done it again and carried on rambling. We're actually on Ring of Steel now. This is going to see the Red Army reach the outskirts of Berlin in 1945. This mission is going to plunge us into the heart of Germany's desperate final defences, inspired by the actual Battle of Seelow Heights. Soviet troops faced fierce German resistance as they pushed towards Berlin. So we'll be fighting building to building, experiencing the chaos and resistance of a city on the brink of collapse. German troops and civilian military fought to the last, symbolising a society unwilling to surrender despite overwhelming odds. The level itself is pretty cool. It's going to see us fighting through the insane asylum. It's a little bit ironic. Very fortified. A lot of defense in here. The other sort of levels were a lot easier than this. Just getting to the asylum was a pain in the ass. But it's just a case of just moving up slow and steady. Go behind cover, pop up, shoot, move. Just rinse, repeat that, and you can't go wrong. As for the actual chapter, you're sort of pushing the remaining defences back, just going back towards Berlin. It is fun. It is a little bit meh. I've done this already. And as soon as we started the level, I had like flashbacks of one of the Call of Duty 3 levels. I'll put it on the screen now. Obviously it isn't, but it just felt so familiar. So that's the St. Lo from the Battle of St. Lo, or St. Lou. Obviously it's not the same battle, it just felt the same. I don't know if it's just the way the game was designed or what, but one was Normandy, France, the other is, I forget where we are. But yeah, 2 or 3 different places, and it just felt the same. It wasn't a bad thing, it was pretty cool. Whether or not it was intended, I don't know. So moving further into Berlin, level eviction takes you into city subway tunnels. We will encounter a maze of ambushes and relentless close quarter combat. As the Soviet forces fought their way through the city in reality, civilians and soldiers hid in the subways. Hoping to survive the impending Soviet assault, the mission's dark and tense atmosphere mirrors the claustrophobia of the real battles, where tunnels became battlegrounds and every corner was a deadly threat. Emerging from the tunnels, we face the broken remains of Berlin, foreshadowing the imminent fall of the Third Reich. The difficulty on this level wasn't the hardest. You will get a few tricky situations, and it's just a case of just grinding it out and pushing forward, as is everything else on this game. I personally liked the level. I liked the idea behind it, and you know, the way it was designed. I noticed it on the previous mission with the soundtrack, like the war tracks, are just fucking amazing. Like, they really, really are. They did an absolute amazing job with the sound on this game. And I don't know if that carried on in future CODs. I hope it has, because the war tracks just so cool, so cool. I am a little bit concerned if I put too much of those in, I might get a copyright strike. I'm also a little bit cautious of what I show. Obviously, back then, having a swastika in the game wasn't the be-all and end-all of the video. However, you know, it is quite prominent in this. So I am trying not to include too much of that, just in case that gets me a strike as well. But the level just uses fight through the buildings along the street and into the subway, and it's just a case of reaching the end of the subway. You know, typical Call of Duty fashion, it isn't anything out of the ordinary, should we say. And once you get to the end, we are going to just be ambushed once more. Again, typical Call of Duty. We know it's coming a mile away. That is going to be eviction. Up next is Black Cats. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys now, I AFK'd that whole level. So, we're returning to the Pacific with Black Cats. This places us on board a PBY Catalina flying boat, searching for drowned American soldiers. The mission itself was inspired by the real-life air and sea rescue missions conducted by the US Navy. Don't believe there was one specific mission that they sort of went with, but rather all the whole process of what they went through, you know, what they experienced. As for the mission itself, you're tasked with protecting survivors from waves of Japanese boats and aircraft. It is quite fast-paced, it's a little bit of a breather, and the mission just highlights the essential role of air support and rescue during long Pacific campaigns, where Allied troops were often isolated and stranded in the ocean. As I mentioned, I did AFK this until I needed to actually do anything. Don't think you can die until it comes to actually rescuing the drowning soldiers. So I think we needed to rescue a total of 6 sailors. Once we've rescued them, as you see, I'm just going to shoot these waves of aircraft every now and again, and these boats that were coming in. That is the only time you can get shot and fail the mission. So once we have rescued all of these, we are just going to defend our aircraft from the last wave of Japanese aircraft. I can't remember what they were called. So we're just going to shoot these down until we eventually run out of ammunition. As you can see here, I run out. True cinematic Call of Duty. We get our asses saved again. Amazing. So that was pretty cool. Now, the level I've been putting off, I'm going to go meet my old nemesis, Blowtorch and Corkscrew. So we're back in Okinawa once more, tasked with clearing a series of extremely heavily fortified Japanese bunkers armed with a flamethrower. We're going to face fierce, and I mean fucking fierce, resistance from Japanese soldiers just defending their final positions. This mission truly echoes the desperate fighting scene in the Battle of Okinawa, where every bunker, every pillbox was a deadly confrontation. Japanese forces on Okinawa were deeply entrenched, and this was their last ditch resistance. Just, they were desperate to cling on, and it truly gave US troops one of part of victories in the Pacific campaign. And on that note, this was an absolute motherfucker. Now, I have no love for this level. I've made that quite clear throughout this episode. However, this was just a bitch. Like, the footage you're watching is the second time I played through this level for this one playthrough. I got to the end and the sound on the disc wasn't loading, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get that back. So I actually thought I had a checkpoint. I'll just reload the game. I'm guessing it was corrupt because it made me start back here. So I was already fucking annoyed. The game had pissed me off. Then it did that to me, and it's just, to say it's a love-hate relationship would be an absolute lie. I fucking hate this level. I said the Jeep level on COD 1 was the worst in the franchise because I forgot about this. This is the fucking worst mission in the franchise that I have played. May change my mind in future playthroughs. Don't know right now. As I said, there's quite a few coming up that I've never played. But from my experience, Blowtorch and Corkscrew can fuck right off. So the level itself is going to see us pushing through a jungle, through some bunkers. We're going to clear out, I think it was 3 of these bunkers. And then we need to raid a fucking fortress that you can see up there. Now, I got to this bit when my game crashed or whatever. And I won't lie to you guys. It took me about 3.5 hours to play through. So yeah, to be back at the start of that level, really pissed me off. But we were able to run through it, thankfully. Then yeah, when you get here, it's just a case of just setting everything on fire, waiting for your gun to cool down so you can go again. Use your grenades when you have to. I got a little bit lucky there that they didn't shoot me, but then I come back and just burn them. So we're just gonna head up this ladder, burn these guys, kill them however you want. That is the fucking chaos, the hell of this shitty level done. So up next is Breaking Point. This is going to see us ambushed at the start, and we're just going to push our way towards what was it called? Shuri Castle. So this is the last part of the Pacific campaign. We are still on Okinawa, and as I say, we're just assaulting Shuri Castle, which was a key Japanese stronghold. This climactic battle reflects the relentless push for victory at Okinawa. The US forces taking casualties as they closed in on Japanese defensive lines. The castle represents the last line of defense for the Japanese forces. Clearing it was an absolute grueling task, capturing the true spirit of one of the final battles of the Pacific Theatre. It's the end of the line for the Japanese resistance on Okinawa, and a preview of the war's coming conclusion. It was an absolute slaughter. You know, this doesn't even come close to what those men and women were actually faced with. But the desperation of the Japanese truly came to light here. As for the game itself, I really enjoyed this level. There is obviously going to be a little bit of a spoiler in a moment. If you haven't played this, I will give you a warning on screen before. I tried a few times to sort of advert it. I couldn't. Got a bit lucky here with this mortar throw. I'm quite proud of that, so I had to put that in. So, as for the level itself, we are starting out on the beach. We have no weapons, and we have a little bit of an ammo supply drop, I guess we could say, which we loot to get our ammo. And we're going to push up to Shuri Castle. The level itself is not hard. It's a drop down from the previous motherfucker, and also a step down from what is still to come. But you can truly enjoy this level. Here in the courtyard there is a lot of grenade spam. Take that out of the equation and it's one of the best levels I think you can play. It's a true masterpiece. I haven't mentioned this yet, I don't think. I don't recall the graphics being this good on the 360. I feel like it wasn't. I know it sounds silly. I mean, at the time it may have been, but looking back, I don't remember thinking like, "Oh wow, graphics." But playing through, especially on this level, like just look at the detail on the wall. I don't know if it's just me and I didn't notice it before. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, the game's almost 20 years old. This is the spoiler. Please look away now. So as I said, I've tried multiple times to save them both. I just can't do it. Don't know if you can. It looks like that grenade goes off no matter what. So after that, it is just a case of just defending out against, I think it was 3 waves of just Japanese soldiers running at you basically. Some with bayonets, others just shooting you through the smoke. I found just sitting here on the stairs. This kept me alive. They didn't really come and bother me. Every now and again I'd have to kill 2 or 3, but just sitting there calling in the air support, it wasn't a problem at all. That is going to be the end of the Pacific Theatre. So we're going to jump over now to the end of the Soviet campaign. Just going to reach the climax in Heart of the Reich.
This is the enemy's last stand. When we take Shuri Castle, we go home. All of us.
So as I mentioned, the Soviet campaign is reaching its end now. The Red Army is closing in on Berlin's Reichstag building. This level is inspired by the Battle of Berlin. So Soviet forces fought street by street during intense German resistance. As we approach the Reichstag, desperation of the German defenders is just unmatchable. This mission showcases the final hours of Nazi Germany. The Soviet troops raised their banner over the Reichstag, a symbol of both Soviet victory and the end of the Third Reich. So the level itself sees us sort of pushing through the streets of Nazi Germany. And we're going to come and take out 4 AA crews before we push up the stairs of the building. This is where they have an infinite respawn, so you need to move forward. You need to just clear a wave, run, clear a wave, do the objective, clear a wave, move. Just rinse and repeat. It is the only way to progress with this. Otherwise you will sit in a spot for hours. So as I said, I've rushed through this level. I don't think there's a right or wrong way, but I think the left may avoid some of the fighting, and if you are struggling with this level. So apologies, this video has gone on so long. Certainly my most in-depth video. I love World Wars, the history behind them, everything. I find it really hard not to talk about, especially in this situation. So I'm not going to bombard you with all my opinions, all my knowledge, all that bullshit. But for those of you unaware, the Reichstag was the German Parliament building. It sort of became symbolic because it was just so heavily defended by SS troops, and just the desperation of the German soldiers. As I say, it became quite symbolic because of their resistance, and it became the site of the battle's last major firefight. We have also played through this on Call of Duty 2, I believe it was. Now, comparing the two levels, this level was harder, but you do get that iconic flag bearing moment, which is so cool. That is actually going to be on the final level, but right now we're just working our way up to it. So we just need to get up to these stairs. This truly was the hardest part for me. Kept getting shot in the back, or when I was shooting the guy, it was going to shoot me in the back, and I'd get shot from the guy on top of the stairs. Again, I do think this is a harder version of this level than the Call of Duty 2 one. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And just to sort of reflect on the series, I am obviously playing Modern Warfare 2 next. That will be up a lot sooner than this was. I will be back to regular posting. As I said, I was just busy in real life. I went away. It's just been one thing after another, but I am now back. I plan to do weekly live streams, probably just multiplayer, Call of Duty and FIFA. But I do promise the Modern Warfare 2 campaign playthrough will be a lot shorter. I won't ramble on as much. So for that I can only apologise. If you are still watching this, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. This isn't the end of the video, but I just want to take this moment to sort of just thank you guys and update you. So we're finally reaching the top of the stairs. This guy got me last time, so I am just taking it slow till I know I'm safe. I ran up to that sandbag and I thought I was, I thought I was good. I thought that was it. I thought level over. And then I don't know if he got me or if I got sort of hit with what he was doing to that guy. Yeah, but the next thing you know, we're reloading the game. So the final mission, Downfall, sees the Red Army storm the Reichstag itself, pushing up its battered stairs and through the debris-filled halls. The intense showdown encapsulates the last moments of World War II in Europe. Historically, the battle for the Reichstag was as brutal as depicted, with Soviet soldiers determined to raise the flag as a definitive end to the war in Europe. The mission concludes with this climatic image, a powerful reminder of the sacrifices and the devastation that marked the Second World War. So the level itself, you can go left or right. I personally go left. I do believe it to be easier. It's just a case of shoot, move up, shoot, move up, shoot, move up. Once you get up the stairs, you're going to come to the room I'm shooting in now. And that is the hardest part, getting to this room. If you can get through the first bit, you can finish the game. It's that easy. From here, it is just a case of just clearing out sort of lingering soldiers and working your way up the building. So obviously this level is incorporated into a huge number of games. They all depict it differently. It's all very similar, but the principle is the same. You're going to raise the Soviet flag. I don't know why, but this is always a great mission to play. I personally really enjoy playing this level on any game. And that is going to be the World at War veteran playthrough completed. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you for no Russian